Now, I know I have talked about this on numerous occasions here on my YouTube channel and even on my BW Roses Discussions podcast, which you can listen to at various podcast locations, but mostly listen to it on Spotify. That helps me out a lot. But, as I said, I know I've talked about this at nauseous, every time I get an opportunity, and believe it or not, seeing as though my job decided to offer myself and others the opportunity to go home early because lack of work, in our area, in our department, I decided for the second day in a row to take that opportunity. And not only did I take that opportunity, but of course, I decided to take care of a few things. I get my hair cut, and just come home and relax. Which brings me to, again, what I'm talking about here. Because like I said, I know I talked about this at nauseous in the minds of a lot of folks. But to me, it's just, as I've said on numerous occasions, I should correct myself, as I've said on those numerous occasions before, correction there. But as I've said on those numerous occasions before, to me, it just feels like every time you look online, you Google, you Bing, you use whatever search engine you use, whatever browser you use, and you bring up, certain music videos that have, come out in the past few years, animated, claymation, stop motion. And it seems to me that every single one of them, even the CGI and pixelization and SFM, videos and all that, that have come out, it seems to me that almost every single one of them has a little bit of that influence thrown in there. A little bit of that influence thrown in there from Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. That is the truth. And you could say that's not true whatsoever. Well, guess what it is? And there are various music videos that actually, pay homage to that actual video. True, some of them may not be exactly up to standards, and one of them might look like it's a freaking parody. But anyway, they are there. They are there. You see the various music videos animated-wise, depending on what kind of animation it uses, because there's a variety, like I've mentioned, you see that little influence here and there. You see a little influence, maybe for a brief moment in one video, and then you see more influence in another. And what's crazy is even though people will not say this, and I say that with all due respect, no offense. I say it with all due respect, no offense. Most of these inspirations that you see, most of them, that come from Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer, that you see for a brief moment, or you see on several occasions, are coming from established, if not up-and-coming, independent female artists/singers. And that's the truth. I mean, heck, you could go on ChatGPT or Google's Bard, if you will, and ask them yourself. You can ask them yourself if there's anything similar to Sledgehammer, or if there's anything that might be a female artist, claymation-wise, whatever, changing into things, morphing into a fruit face, stuff like that. And it will list off videos that when you look them up yourself, won't have any of what it's, saying, oh yeah, that's in here, that's in here, that's in there. It won't have any of that. But here's the thing. Even though these AI systems will point out videos that don't really have that in there, they do it because I think they look at the video and they feel like maybe there is a similarity. Like maybe there's something that, is identical to Sledgehammer in that video. And this is why I say on numerous occasions, time after time after time. This is why I say on numerous occasions why we are in a situation, we are in a time error, if you will, where a female artist, singer, up and coming, independent, or even established, but mostly up and coming and independent, we are in a time era right now where I would put money, if I wanted to, not saying I would, but I would put money on a female artist as singer working on, if not already, already basically releasing or on the verge of releasing a music video that's identical to Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer video from 1986 with their own song. I would not be surprised if one is out there as we speak on an international basis. That's right, an international basis. And, people might say, oh, it's never going to happen, Brian. You're delusional. Peter Gabriel himself even said, good luck to anybody that wants to try to recreate it. And look, I get where people are coming from. I understand where Peter Gabriel comes from saying that, from making that statement. I get that. But here's the thing about his statement, when he made it. He made it back in 86, between 86 and 87. At a time where he and none of us knew that technology was going to advance the way it did. To where now, all you have to do is probably use computers to make an identical remake of said video to somebody else's song. Get this. AI is already doing it. People already have AI versions of Sledgehammer. One that I saw was just recently. It is basically taking the actual music video and putting it into an AI system called Dream Edition, and give it credit. It did the best it could, from what it was presented with. But the point is, we are now in and I've said this numerous times and I've talked about this, we are in a time period, a time era, where technology is so advanced that something like what took 16 hours, 2 days, whatever you want to call it originally, in 1986, could be done within the span of just a few hours. If not a day, if not maybe a day, if you will. Well, I wouldn't say a day, but basically it could take less than a few hours, less than 16 hours, basically. That's how far technology has come. And what's even crazier is you have these AI programs that I talked about, like ChatGPT, Google's Bard, Novell AI, and all that. And when you ask them, okay, who would, artistically, like if you were to ask Bard and ChatGPT, who are, from a female singer perspective, who would be good to do a music video remake of Sledgehammer, scene by scene. And they will give you a list of women, established and independent, up and coming, that they feel will fit that bill. Like Bojack, like Katy Perry, like Pink. Their names like Sia, if you will. They will bring their names up as potential candidates, as ones they feel are more likely to go that direction. And you have services like Novell AI, and I talked about this in one video, that all you have to do is describe what you want. All you have to do is describe what you want to see, and then maybe use an image to, help it along the way. Like, I could take still images from Sledgehammer, and there are some online, and I could put it, in a system like Novell AI, mention woman's face transformed into fruit face, like in the 1986 Sledgehammer video, and guess what happens? And I showed this, in that video, in that audio video I did. It showed that it can be done. And I even said, how is it AI is able to do this better, just from a visual description than, than what should be done, right? Or that what could be easily made a reality. It just, didn't make sense to me, honestly. It really didn't. But again, I look at all this technology and advancements that we have. And like I said, I look at all that, and then I look at the fact that every time I look up, or anybody else probably looks up, on Google or Bing or whatever, Claymation music videos, female singers or female artists, or stop motion music videos, female singers, female artists, or whatever, that they will present us with some videos, and some of those videos will have a hint of inspiration from Sledgehammer. If not, maybe a bit of an homage or whatever, or something. So that tells me, piecing that all together, and then hearing Sledgehammer on the radio when I was working at Target, and if not recently, because yes, I did hear it recently somewhere, and it wasn't on YouTube, it was on the radio. I can tell you this without a shadow of a doubt, I still feel we're heading in that direction. We are heading in that direction where an up-and-coming independent, if not internationally up-and-coming independent, female artist / singer is going to do a video like that, if they haven't done it already. And I feel this, and I feel it's going to happen soon. And I also feel that here, state-wise, or stateside, if you will, it'll happen too. It'll happen too. And it may even happen with established artists. We're not really sure. But the point is, like I said, we are in a moment now. We are in a moment to where this can and will be a reality. I know some people may not believe that. I know people may laugh about that. But you know what? There's an old saying of never say never. And here's the thing. When somebody puts that saying out of never say never, they're basically telling you right now, just because you don't think it'll happen, just because you don't think it'll happen, don't think it won't, because it will. It will. But yeah, I still feel we're in that time frame. As crazy as that sounds, I still believe we are in that time frame. And I am not, and you know what? You know what's crazy? In 2.5 years, 2.5 years, because this year is almost over, right? So in about 2.5 years, it'll be 40 years since Sledgehammer came out. 40 years. And here's the thing. Gabriel tried to do a crowdsource in 2016 for the 30th. Who's to say maybe by the time we get close to 40 years, if not sooner, we will see exactly what I'm talking about. Because I bet we will. I bet we will. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Do you think maybe I'm just far-reaching? Or do you think it is possible and will happen? And do any of you know of a video from an up-and-coming independent female artist internationally or statewide or stateside that has done it already, or something similar? Let me know down below, and until next time, talk to y'all later.